So it's been about 15, maybe 20 minutes since I've heard the terror has begun, or terror has begun. Because after terror has begun, I started going through my Titanic book, you know, the one I showed you in the 1912 video. And basically, what it is, it's like, I guess it's an abridged summary of what happened, like from people like in the modern day, even though it came out in like 98, like 97, 98, I want to say is when that came out. But it's basically summarizing the events, but on top of that, it's got actual like eyewitness accounts, testimonials, real pictures from the Titanic, obviously not of the sinking, but like it being docked in that in the port. But there is one testimonial. It was from a guy, I don't remember his name. I think his name was Omond, or his last name was Omond or Omound. He got called in after to kind of give his account of what happened, and I guess what he experienced from the time they realized like, oh, something is wrong, to the time the boat sank. Because he was on a lifeboat, obviously. Pretty sure he was on a lifeboat. Yeah, he was, because he was on one of the boats, or on the boats that got picked up by the Carpathia. His testimonial is only like this big. And it's nuts. He talks about like seeing the lights in the distance as the ship was sinking after they were on the boat. What they had water, they had some lights, they had a box of crackers. It's just, it's, I don't know, some of these survivor accounts are just, if you actually read and kind of put yourself in their shoes, it's like you got so lucky. Or not God, you are so lucky that you can actually share your stories with what happened. And the stories are going to live on forever. But anyway, this is Spirit Lives On. Before I get going, be sure to subscribe. Helps me out so much. Patreon is in the description down below. New uploads every Sunday. We're doing this. Oh boy. So, yeah, this is coming from, well, based on what I've seen and what I've read and what I can hear. This is coming from, like, it's coming from the perspective of one guy trying to get off the boat, I couldn't even imagine how purely fucking terrifying that would be. Getting on a lifeboat or not making it on a lifeboat is just... I couldn't imagine the terror and the fear in everyone. Even the people that made it on the lifeboats just floating around the ocean all night. When did it fully go down? What was it? It completely submerged around what, 2:15, I think? Or is that when it hit? Either way, I don't know. Because I think the time the Carpathia got there, the sun was up or coming up. So they were floating around the ocean in lifeboats for hours and hours. I think that's my understanding of it. God damn, I could not imagine that. I don't want to. I was actually looking at the exact time it went underwater. Yeah, I think, yeah, around 2:20 is what this is telling me. It went down. So if the Carpathia showed up there as the sun was coming up, there were people floating in the water and in the lifeboats for hours in the pitch black. Because when you're that far out, if the moon's not out, you're just staring into nothing. It's just black. But I want to... And like, just imagine having to live with, because I'm sure like it was just kind of business as usual to some of them. But you know, the I guess the workers on the Titanic, I don't know what they're called. Like the ones manning the lifeboats, like getting people on and like kind of trying to calm everybody down. Imagine having to live with telling people no. Like people, like women and children are loading on or getting onto the lifeboats. And you have to be the guy that's like, no, you can't come on. It's like, oh, but my wife and children are on there. Sorry, lifeboat's full. We're loading women and children first. Go stand over there and wait. Just imagine. I know, like, nowadays that kind of thing would never happen because, one, there would be enough lifeboats, which is, I guess, the most important thing. And two, there's such contingency plans. Like that one, I forget what it was. It was an Italian cruise ship, I'm pretty sure. It didn't sink all the way down, but I think it, like, what's the name of the word? It didn't go down, like, forward and back. It kind of rolled over, but it was so shallow it didn't fully go under. It was just kind of laying on the bottom. But there's, like, there was contingency plans for that. There's always a direct line of communication. The Coast Guard is always, they always, I'm pretty sure, know where every ship is. So if something happens, they can be there. But like, you would never sleep again. If you were one of those people, it's like, no, you can't come on. It's full. And it wasn't actually full. There was 12 people on it. On a boat that holds 60 or 20 or 30 or 40. God, I couldn't imagine. You would never sleep again. You would be thinking about that constantly. That would be on the forefront of your mind every day. Every second you were awake. Capsized. That's the word I was looking for. It kind of like, it rolled onto his sides. I think that's called capsizing. Or it's capsizing when it does a complete 180. I don't know. Either way. I love how visual this album is. Mainly because we all know what happened, the events leading up to it and the event itself and then the fallout. I love that we can picture exactly what Tommy is singing about in this. Like the desperation of trying to get to a lifeboat. We can all picture exactly what he's doing in that song. That's another part of the reason this album has just so much impact. Because we can picture exactly what they're doing and the desperation of trying to survive. Anyway, I'm moving on to the next one because I want to hear this next story. For now, that's it. That's all. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you again real soon. Later.